Hi, I'm Arun Singh. We're coming to you from a village in Thiruvallur district, which is around 44 kilometers from the capital city of Chennai of Tamil Nadu. And, this house has typical elements of every rural household that you would see. There are these calendars with deities on it, the CRT TV. But what you don't expect is a big Hindi film star in houses like these. But that unexpected thing has happened, and a very warm welcome to Deepika Padukone and also Anna Chandy here. We are talking Live Love Foundation, and so glad that you're doing this. And groundwork is so important when it comes to any NGO. Uh, Mental health is one issue that you've spoken very extensively on, and now the groundwork has started in the rural belt. Which was that one moment where you realized, okay, now I have to expand and then we have to go beyond urban areas? Was there any moment, any anecdote? What was it?
I think soon after my first interview with NDTV that we had done with Barkha back in 2015, I think the days immediately after that, I think made us realize how big the problem is, how vast the problem is, how deep the problem is. And it wasn't just an urban problem. And that mental illness chooses not to spare anyone in that sense. It can affect anyone, any gender, any age group. You could be from any profession. And so I think that's pretty much when we realized that it's not just an urban issue, and I think when we set up the foundation and we felt internally we had the capability to partner with, with people who could deliver our programs, is when we decided to expand into doing rural work as well.
Okay. So the foundation has actually partnered with a lot of channels here which are working locally, and we've spent the entire day with the team, and they are visiting the homes and also the carers or those who are suffering from any mental health issue. Anna Chandy is also here. Any one starking difference that you experienced here when you compare it with any urban area? One thing which just stands out here?
I think what really stands out is the social inclusion because of the stereotypes of people with mental illness, and not just the individual but their families, because we've been hearing about the stories how the families are also isolated. They're struggling economically because the caregivers are unable to go to work, and therefore I think the intensity of the problem is much more obvious when we come into the rural areas.
And you're visiting a lot of families, Deepika, and you have been every event that we see your family traveling with you. Very recently, you were in Paris also working for LV. We saw your family. How important is it a family's role when it comes to dealing with mental health illness?
Oh, it's extremely crucial. It's extremely crucial. I mean, even in my own personal journey, the role of the caregiver has been extremely important. That's why my mother's here with us today. That's why my sister is so passionately has been a part of the cause for many, many years. And also, therefore, when I hear the stories of caregivers, I understand how important, equally important, that is as well. And the emotional well-being of a caregiver is as important as the emotional well-being of the person experiencing mental illness. In my own case, for example, had my mother as a caregiver not identified my signs and symptoms, not in my moment of vulnerability, had she not had the presence of mind to tell me to or help me reach out to the professionals, I don't know what state I would be in today. Ensuring I, was regular with my treatment, with my, consultations with the doctors and things like that. And of course, it takes a toll on the caregiver as well. And it's not, and that's not something new. I think caregivers in general, whether it is mental illness or any other form of illness, it takes a toll on a caregiver. And I think this district in particular, we seem to be focusing on that a lot more. We have programs where once a month all the carers come together, they form a group, they share their stories and their thoughts and their ideas, and they feel like a community. They don't feel like they're alone. And I think not feeling alone is such a huge part of this issue, because we all suffer in silence. We're all struggling in silence. And I think a large part of what we're trying to do here is bring the community together, the community of people with mental illness, but also the community of caregivers. Bring them together, share, each other's stories, and know that you're not alone and that we're all in this together.
And I quickly also want to check on your well-being as well. How are you doing otherwise? What's your headspace? Because you're doing, one project after another and you've been traveling as well. Is it overwhelming? What is it like? Please.
No, I mean, I think, it's like with any illness that anyone has. Once you've had an illness, it's not something that leaves your system. It's something that will always play on your mind. And so it's the same with mental illness. It's not, at least in my case, it's not something that I wake up not thinking about. It's something I have to think about every day. I have to nurture my mind, my body, and my spirit every day. It is work every day. As is anything else, people go to the gym every day. They take care of their physical selves every day. And so it's the same. It's exactly the same logic would apply here as well. So I think just the difference is that, I treat my mind as a part of my body. And so for me, taking care of my mind as well as my body is equally important. And like I said earlier, it is work, and it is work every day. And I'm willing to commit to that, because once you've had a lived experience with mental illness, you do not want to go down that path again. And so I'm willing to put in that work every day to nurture my mind and my body.
LLL has expanded its programs to Karnataka, Odisha as well when we talk about rural belt. Now, I was also reading that there are several regional languages where there are no technical terms also available for illnesses or for what kind of challenges you feel with people living in the rural belt? There is no terminology that they know. They don't know how to identify it. They don't know how to explain it, because in general also, as an urban citizen as well, sometimes we don't know what we are going through. And, we are someone who's reading so much. And here we're talking about a rural belt where they are not even aware of what is happening to them. Does that add a challenge? I mean, the language, then culture, then society.
A lot of people in urban India don't know what mental illness is. So I don't think the lack of awareness has anything to do with urban or rural. I think the only difference is that how you address the issue.
I was asking, does it add to the problem? Because then there are, people are also struggling with basic amenities of their life.
Sure. I think so. I think what you need to also understand is there are cultural nuances. Sure. And in India being such a large country, there are micro-cultures. And mental illness symptoms have cultural, the way they display themselves have cultural display. So I think one of the things that we do is when we partner with local partners, they're able to understand the cultural sensitivity and the nuances so much more than somebody outside, the local person. And in addition to that, when people are talking, everything doesn't have to be words. Sure. But when people are talking and articulating and expressing what's happening to them within their minds, within their bodies, we are able to relate.
A professional can pick up. Yeah. As we begin to wrap up, Deepika, last question to you. What do you plan to do with LLL? What's the future plan that you have?
To impact as many lives as possible.
There must be one wish list or something on agenda which you want to achieve in, let's say, 5 years to come.
Well, I don't think now is the time to throw statistics, but honestly, I think more from an emotional perspective, and also because we're here now almost celebrating 7 years of the foundation. I think if I really had to summarize it, and I'd said this a couple of years ago as well, that for me, if mental health and access to mental health care can become as accessible as, say, gyms are today, that for me would be a huge sign of success for the foundation. And I keep comparing it to sort of 10 years ago, there was this whole sort of sprouting of gyms, and, everyone in India got onto this fitness mania, and everyone understands the importance of physical fitness today. Sure. And once you sign up for that, you have a gym around the corner that you can go to, you sign up, it's accessible, you can choose, based on, which area, etc., etc. So my dream is for that to happen for mental health as well, where you walk out and you're able to walk confidently without shame into the, say, a clinic to seek psychiatric treatment, or whether it's for a counseling session. That for me is would be success.
In the end, since the organization is called Live, Love, Laugh, we have quick Live, Love, Laugh questions for you. And I mean, you can elaborate on a few, but these are like quick ones. So complete these sentences. Deepika's way to live is?
Mindfully.
Live life to the fullest.
And live mindfully at least. Yeah.
Live life to the fullest because?
Oh my God. Live life to the fullest because. Help me with this.
You
one.
live only once.
Correct. I was going to say that, but then I thought that would
YOLO.
sound really cheesy. But yeah, okay, fine. She said it.
Okay. One memory from past that you want to live again. Are you somebody who doesn't look at the past and?
Yeah, I'm not someone who looks too much at the past, but I think of late, and Anna's been someone who, regularly says it's okay to recognize some of your journey, because I'm someone who's, whether it's good or bad, I kind of just, I'm like, that's done, and I keep trying to be in the present and moving forward.
Sure.
But I think every now and then it is important to just pause and just reflect. And so, yeah, I think there are
Any moment from past that you want to live again?
Sure, my childhood. I had a fantastic, amazing upbringing, a great childhood, lots of friends, loving family, lots of great memories from school. So yeah, why not?
What the food you live for?
Oh God, I live for food. I live for food, and I think about food all the time. So yeah, I finish breakfast and I'm thinking about lunch.
Wow. Love means?
So much. I think it is patience. I think it's understanding. I think it's empathy.
I think openness to learning. She's very open to learning.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's one of the greatest treasures of her.
And then you can answer the next question. Deepika's love language is? What do you think?
The twinkle in the eye.
Deepika's love for her sister Anisha is?
Oh my God. That's inexplicable. Yeah.
Words will not be able to
Love
articulate.
for her husband?
Oh gosh. How I already used the word for my sister. Can I use the same thing for my husband? Yeah, okay, so it's the same thing.
Okay, last few for laugh complete. You would laugh at someone who would say?
Laugh maybe at someone. Actually, I don't laugh at someone.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh with someone. I don't know if I want to laugh at someone.
Sure, you want to correct the question, that's fine. Now pick one, laughing out loudly yourself or making others laugh.
Sorry?
Pick one, either of these, laughing out loudly yourself or making others
I
laugh.
don't have that art of making people laugh loudly. I think I would like to laugh out loud. I'm usually that person, but sometimes people who get me, like people like my sister and my husband who really get me, laugh at my jokes. So both are true. Yeah.
Last question, secret behind Deepika's laughing airport pictures is? Like there's one, this iconic laughter that you have.
It's not a laugh, it's my smile. I can't help it.
You have a bright white smile.
I have a smile, and the boys are always there saying something that will, get you to like laugh, or they're always lovely. They're always saying something sweet. And so I guess it's a reaction to that. But yeah, I didn't think people would think so much about that.
Well, they do your Deepika Padukone, so that definitely they put a lot of thought into it. But thank you so very much and congratulations on the effort, and more power to live, love, love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
From Thiruvallur, Arun Singh with camera person Suresh for NDTV.